I am Lawrence Chuno, and this is Doing Jazz. Hello everyone and welcome to Doing Jazz. My name is Lawrence Chuno and this episode is with singer, songwriter and actor Sonia Aimy. Sonia is Nigerian, but she speaks fluent Italian and has enjoyed a close to 2-decade career as an Italian stage actress. She's the first black woman to play the role of Cinderella in Italian. As a recording artist, Sonia has released a good amount of work. Her latest CD, The Nigerian Spirit, is a collection of songs that combines jazz and storytelling with a depth of cultural authenticity. The song playing in the background is the title track of the new CD. After listening to this episode, you can learn more about Sonia by going to the website of the podcast, www.doingjazz.net, and you can learn more about this episode there, more about Sonia Aimy, and you can also listen to more episodes of the podcast by subscribing on iTunes, TuneIn, and Stitcher. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I present Sonia Aimy in your face. Let's roll.
Okay.
Sonia Aimy.
Yes.
Welcome to Doing Jazz.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I am very happy you're here. You're finally here. We've been trying to make this happen.
Yes, it's my pleasure.
Good.
Thank you so
I was
much.
at one of your shows yesterday and it was a blast. It was awesome. I really had a good time.
Yeah.
Being in the audience and then participating a little bit by playing the drum
By
for
playing
you.
the drums.
Yeah. So you're touring. You're on a tour in the US.
Yes.
All right. So can you talk about your experience so far and the different shows you'll be putting on here?
Yeah.
At the different dates and everything.
Yes. So thanks again for having me, Lawrence.
Great.
It's my first time actually of coming to the US to perform in New York. I have my manager and agents here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of promoting my new album, Nigerian Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought we should start, in a small scale, starting
Mm-hmm.
in New York from Sylvana Club to the Shrine, Yereso, and there is another club. I have about 4 shows.
Okay.
Yeah. The experience was really very interesting.
Mm-hmm. That was the first show in New York.
Yeah, it was the first show, and in a kind of very intimate setting,
Yes.
with the guitar and vocal and an audience about, is it 80, 100 people?
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
very
something
small
like that.
venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
100 is not small.
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
yeah, but it was really
Yeah.
very beautiful, having everybody so involved in the show.
Yeah. It's you that got them involved.
Yeah, I guess it's both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to prepare your audience,
Yes.
because it is a new place. I'm getting to, it's like every audience is, however, new.
Mm-hmm.
And it's left for you to be able to prepare them,
Mm-hmm.
To lay the foundation for this interaction to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because the music is about connection, is about sharing.
Yes.
Giving and taking.
Good.
Is sharing.
Good.
So
So you just said something that I find interesting now. Do you study an audience first and then know how to approach them? Do you study them and see how to get them involved or what?
yeah, sometimes it depends. You ask the presenter who is putting the show together to know the kind of audience we're dealing with, because it varies, right? If I'm to perform for a programming series like in the theater, and you know that majority of the audience are usually like advanced people, these.
What do you mean by advanced?
Advanced, you're talking of 50 years and
Okay,
up,
in age, okay.
in age.
Yeah.
So based on that, you prepare your repertoire as well.
Yes.
But if I am coming to a place like Silvana,
Yes.
or the Shrine, where people, they are young,
Yes.
younger people, younger audience, and they are used to music, new stuff, and all of that. It, for me in this case, I see it's more like a friendly musical conversation rather than going deep into the
Yes.
like
rather than a presentation.
Yes,
it's like a conversation.
It's
I see.
informal, presentation, like getting to know them. This is what I got, and let me know you better. That kind of free, really like freestyle, getting to know each other. Is a new place. So I wouldn't even know what to expect, right? If I do not, I have to throw the seed and see how they're going to pick the
Grow,
seed.
yeah.
Then from there, I will be able to, like, next time when I'm coming back, I can prepare another kind of, repertoire. I'm like, you've had a taste for me. Now let's take it to the next level.
Nice.
So
nice.
for me, this, like a place like this, it's really like getting to know each other and throwing a bit of me, and then prepare them for the shows ahead as well, right?
Yeah.
Like now it was in the full band. There is a reason for that. First is for the money and all of that, but it's really also for me to study, this place, and then gets prepared for the full band, because this is a bomb, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. And so far, I'm like, wow, I'm very intrigued. Well, it's usually beautiful, no matter where I go and no matter the audience.
Yeah.
It's usually every concert is unique. It has its own spirit.
Exactly.
It has its own pace
Exactly.
and, energy. So, and no concert would be thrown out. They're all very unique and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like yesterday, you had quite a sizable audience.
Yeah.
I would say for New York City, because I've played for maybe 3 people
Okay.
before. So I would
okay.
say you are, I don't want to say lucky, but
Yes. Yeah.
you did a good job with the
Yeah.
audience. What's the smallest number of people you've played for?
I think in Canada, because what you're saying now is, I mean, in New York, I've been here before, though I didn't perform, but I went to shows, and I've always seen the venues packed.
You go on Fridays, usually Fridays.
Okay. No, it was on a Monday.
It depends on who is playing.
Yeah,
too.
and Alex, my manager, was the producer of the event.
Okay,
So it was fully packed, and I was like, "Wow, Monday." Okay, like in Toronto, there are. I know most of the venues, they really struggle to get the audience. So the least audience I've had is about 70, 70, and and they were like, this is already much. I'm like, no, what is this? 70 people in the audience in a hall of about 150, 180 people.
Wow.
And the people were like, no, but it's good.
Were you the headliner? Was it billed as your show?
It's just my show.
Wow.
My show. Yes,
good.
yes. Yeah, that's my show. But after that, it's a particular venue in Toronto. It's Lula Lounge, and it's well known. But since then, like from there, we did another show. It was like 90. And the last time we went to about 150.
Wow.
So it's, but in other venues, like other shows which I produced myself, because sometimes I produce as well. I take the small venue, 80 people, 100 people. It's usually packed.
Nice.
Because I do my homework as well.
Yes.
Even if in between, I'm new to Canada, I still have followers.
Nice.
So, and when I'm performing, I make sure that my followers know about my performances, and I do my homework. I call them personally, which they appreciate a lot.
Yes.
Or write them, a personal email, and they appreciate that. And usually like 90% of the people I contact, they show up.
Nice.
And when they are unable to come, they still, call me or text me to apologize, letting me know they can't make it. So, I mean, that's the way I roll when I'm doing my stuff. But the other events, I think, is usually, I mean, that's the minimum.
Well, you've had like a smooth, I would say, smooth career when it comes to that department. Then, because starting out, people usually play for very fewer audience than that, like in America, starting out, maybe your first show, when everybody's eager to come see you perform, maybe you get close to 50 people come out. But then when all the people in your circle, your friends, your circle of friends and everything have known about you being a performer, they're not going to be coming to see you, see every of your shows. So maybe some shows, nobody knows you go to a venue and it's only maybe 5 people there. Or it's only maybe, if you have 20 people, you're happy, and stuff like, and it depends on the venue too.
It depends on the venue, but I think it depends on the producer, the presenter as well. Like my very first show in Toronto was produced by a Nigerian. Richard Irehowude. He was then the secretary of the Nigerian community. My promoter had invited me for shows, but he was eager to produce a show for the Nigerian community. And it was packed to, they didn't know me. Yeah, they've read about me on, newspapers and all of that, but they never met me. And this guy, trust me, is one of the best African show I've ever done. It was a full house. And after that, even the other promoter that I worked with, the show was packed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in Europe, I come from Italy. I am, I have a theatrical background as well.
You told me.
Working with the national theaters. There is no way we don't have full house. Whether it's 100 people, whether it's 5,000 people when you're working with the national theaters, whether it's a Palace Stadium, it's packed.
I think you have a different route. You have a different path. You have than other musicians, and we're going to talk about that. But before I forget, I want you to. Do you remember all the shows you're going to have? Because I'll try to upload this tomorrow.
Yes.
Can you just quickly list the venues and the dates?
Yes. Tonight I have the show at the Shrine. On November 3rd, it's at Yereso. It's a new venue. The fourth show, I am not sure where it is, but I know is in Harlem again or something. I don't remember the venue because it came at the last moment, like 2 weeks ago. And in fact, I don't know if they've done the flyer, but it's just an addition. The presenter, the owner of the club heard about me. He's like, okay, I want to book her. So that's how it came about. So I don't even know the venue.
All right. So when I find out, I'll find out tonight and then I'll talk about it. I'll add it. Okay. So how about we go back to the beginning of you?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Nigeria. From Edo State, Benin City. Yeah.
And you grew up in Benin City?
Yes, till the age of 19. And then I moved to Italy. So I have lived in Italy for many years.
Wow.
And I studied jazz music and interpretation.
So you went there for school?
Yeah. I studied jazz music and interpretation and theater arts in Italy. And then I started my career in Italy as an actress, songwriter, singer, professionally. And and ever since, I think the first, even before I finished my school, I had started, having gigs, whether for acting and singing. But then everything took off like 97 when I got the lead role to play the Black Cinderella
Okay.
in Turin for the National Theatre for Youth.
Ah.
And that took us like 13 years on tour
Wow.
in Italy, Europe, and
You didn't outgrow it. You
yeah.
didn't outgrow the role. You just kept playing that role for 13 years.
Yes.
Nice.
That because when they did, when you produce a show, you never know how it goes,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And the producers, the company didn't even know it was going to be that successful.
What's the show called again?
Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they had said, okay, the contract is going to be for 2 years. We see how it goes. And then it just went up and up. I had to stop myself.
Wow.
Yes. And then we did another production. Was it Cappuccetto Rosso? The red... Mamma mia. Oh, dimenticato. My brain. Another production as well. And we were just on the go for years.
Nice.
And I would have like 2 months out of the whole, break from touring. And that 2 months is when I will work with my band to perform my music. And after so many years, it felt like I didn't have connection anymore with staying in the house, having relationship with people.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like
you were always on the road.
yes, like it's like you don't get to understand people anymore. You just the people is just the people on the road, and you never get to solidify relationship.
Yeah.
Even for you to be in a relationship becomes like difficult, it becomes challenging because you really want to focus and you're always on the go, and then the call, that inner call that wants you to focus on something else, to take another path. So I felt like I wanted to do more singing, to do more theatrical production, but within the African context. So I was thinking of how to approach my director because he loved me so much. The company loved me so much. I'm like, how am I going to do this? I first spoke to my colleague. I'm like, what do you think if I approach our director and tell him that gradually I'm going to quit because I just want to focus on my music. I want to do, I don't feel African anymore. I want to reconnect to my roots. I feel I'm missing, He's like, you're right, but think about it because this is a full-time job you're throwing away, Think about it. And then I spoke to my director. He just said to me, Sonia, you know what? I knew this day would come. Oh. It's a pity, but I knew this day will come because you're so talented. So how can we just keep you like this?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to help you. All I can say is, just take it gradually and continue to focus in whichever direction you want to take. If you ever want to come back, let us know, So that was how gradually, 2009, I started, getting, that was 2010 was the last show, I guess, with the company.
Yeah.
And before then, I had started creating my African theater, doing productions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have been to Africa studying the African mythologies, going to the National Troupe of Nigeria to learn choreography, and I would teach them singing. It was an artistic exchange, between me and the National Troupe. For 3 years, I did that, and I started having workshops with Mamadou Diom from Senegal. He's an amazing director, theater director. Yeah. He studied with Peter Brook from, from France. Yeah. I worked with Tapa Sudana as well. And then Were King from from Ivory Coast. Yes.
So you must have met, I have somebody I really adore. Have you met Dobe Nyahore?
We performed, yes. We performed at a festival in Genoa.
Oh, wow.
She came, I was singing there as well. And she was also with her and some other African artists. Yes, I've met her once. Okay. Yeah. So I studied with Were King as well.
She is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I love
She's
Were
wicked.
King.
Yeah. So that's how I started getting into and with other international directors and, all of that.
Yeah.
And I started going to researching African mythologies, deities. I produced the pieces like Shongo, Idia, Queen Idia,
Yeah.
issues about racism, integration, pieces on women's heroes like Mathai Wangari, Wangari
Yeah. Yeah.
Mathai,
She went to the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw her once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, so sad she passed away.
Yes.
She's
too.
everything.
Yes.
When she won the Nobel Peace Prize, I'm like, yes, you deserve it. You deserve it.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, she's amazing. And when I came across her book, I'm like, wow, this woman. And I was able to interpret her on stage as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. And I use it when I'm mentoring young actors. I use that a lot, to have like 15 minutes monologue, something like that, 20 minutes on Wangari Maathai.
Yes.
So, yeah, this kind of getting back to the root, between the past, now, and the future, now. And the future.
What I'm sensing just from talking to you, we haven't talked about this, ever, but I'm just sensing, I hear it from your music, but I'm confirming it now. I'm confirming authenticity.
Yeah.
I'm confirming that you have this kind of patience for the art, and the ability to just calm down and do your homework and do your research, and I feel like that's something that's missing. I don't know if I have it. I'm a performer. I don't know if I have it. And I'm becoming inspired to get to that point. But as a Nigerian, there is something I always wonder about. I look at our French speaking African sisters and brothers. And then I look at us. I don't know if you can confirm this. I feel like there's something missing. Like when you go to Ivory Coast or when you see Ivory Coast people performing, their music is modern, but it's so African. Like somebody like Werele King, when she's performing, she's African, but whatever she's doing transpires. Everybody gets the essence of what she's doing. When you see Dobe Nyahore performing, same thing. When you see Habib Koite, same thing. But I feel like for us, sometimes we really need to work hard in order to keep our stuff modern and at the same time uniquely African. It's either like we're making a mockery of what we have by, I don't know how to explain it. It's either, I think you understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
It's either for us to be modern. Sometimes it's either like we're taking Western thing and making it African. But then their stuff is African and it's modern. Like, can you talk about that? Because I feel like what you did, like the exchange you're talking about, that you did, could help change that. When I see your performance has what Werele King has. It's like modern, it's African, it's unapologetically African. It's not like you're taking some Western thing and trying to adapt it to African. If you don't have anything to say about that, that's okay.
No,
but if you have
I do have. It's something we've been talking about, which other Africans, especially Nigerians, have noticed about my music as well, from the lyrics to my presentation on stage, the outfits and everything, that some people, even like the last show I just performed in Lagos at the Celebration, I had two shows at the Celebration. I had one at the Shrine and the other one at the Freedom Park.
Nice.
Okay. And at a point, people were calling me goddess. The way I was dressed. Some people were kind of frightened. They're like, but she looks so beautiful. But why is she dressing like a goddess? Okay.
And that's only Nigeria.
Yeah, that's Nigeria. Why? I think is the influence with the Christianity that has influenced Nigerians so much. for me is negative. It's not positive.
I understand. Of
okay?
course. Of course.
The influence is so negative that is that our culture, our tradition is dwindling, and we don't even realize that. And again, this thing about us Nigerians, that we are very good at copying. We are like the Chinese in Africa. Yeah, we are the Chinese in Africa, right? And whatever anybody does, and that person is successful, every Nigerians would want to copy it.
The same thing.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, like Fela Kuti was exactly what, like Were and the others. Why is there no other Fela Kuti?
Yeah.
Why? We know he's got sons and all of that, but it's not the same thing.
Yes, it's not.
Why
the same
is there no other Fela Kuti? Even though, I mean, but the thing is that I really believe that the influence with Christianity and how most of the fake pastors have been able to penetrate the mind of the Nigerians by, using materialism to capture their minds, okay, is being so deep within among the people that what they think about is the money. Even when you go to church, it's about I want get money, I want build house, I want this, I want hammer. Yes, I want hammer. Everything is about materialism. Everything is about flashy.
Yeah.
You get it. So that is now the mindset. So what is now the music that brings money? It is this. I want hammer. I won't do sex. The artists themselves that are supposed to shape the cultural identity of the nation are now shaping it differently together with the pastors, together with the musicians, that even myself, I feel lost within the Nigerian context of music.
I see.
You get it? Everybody, even the old school we still have that are still culturally, traditionally rooted is people like Victor Wifo.
Yeah.
King Sonia Aimy, somebody is telling me he's become a pastor. I'm like, even if he's a pastor, let him continue to play. Everybody is now.
Yeah.
And this confusion between spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
I wish the people can just see the eyes of their soul and see that religion and spirituality are two different things. Yeah. They are making a huge confusion because these pastors, they've been so successful that it should be a case study to the world how Nigerian pastors have been able to penetrate the mind of the Nigerians to the extent that our traditions is being diminished.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So someone like me, you can't expect me to do something else. This is me. This is who I am. They can call me a witch. They can call me a goddess. I tell them, really, I'm a goddess.
Yes.
I'm a goddess to heal you through my work, through my craft. You know, this is it. And there is no way I'm gonna change because I want to make all this money. That's tomorrow when I die, I am going to just be buried alone. Am I going to take all the flashy cars and homes along with me? Huh? It's not as if we don't need the money. But how? I mean, is it all about money?
Yeah.
We don't even acknowledge the beauty of the earth, of the people.
That's right.
That dwells in here.
Yeah.
And even acknowledge God for every day that we wake up and we are healthy.
Yeah.
Yet we just think about how many people have all this material wealth.
Yeah.
Yet they can't even move. They can talk. They can see. And yet we're just like, hustling.
Yeah.
Even in the context of the world music today.
Yes, yeah.
We are the largest, the most populated country in Africa.
Africa, yeah.
But who are the world African world music artists leading? Nigeria is nowhere.
No.
Even if our
Yeah.
music is making wave,
Yeah.
what is is it at the world
It's
music level?
No, it's P Square. It's,
Yeah. Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Two-Face is good.
Flavor has some good,
Yeah,
some good authentic
Two-Face
stuff.
has stuff.
Yeah.
He has good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Flavor as well.
Yeah. But
Apart from those two, you
apart from
tell
those,
me.
But the rest, the world music, you gotta count Angelique Kidjo.
But they are from other countries.
They're from other countries.
Yes.
French-speaking
Salif
countries.
Keita,
Salif Keita.
Habib Koité,
Yeah, Habib
Youssou
Koité.
N'Dour.
Exactly. Those people, wherever you mention their name, everybody knows them.
Mali,
Wherever they are coming,
Guinea, Senegal.
because they give you the authentic
Because
stuff.
they are authentic.
They're authentic and rooted.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's talk about. We can talk about this forever.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. You have an album out. When did it come out? Last year?
No,
Or
this year.
Oh, this
actually,
year.
in
Okay.
June.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I took a listen on Spotify and
Yeah.
I like what I hear.
Okay.
My favorite is Shango. I now
Oh.
know the name, but I knew this. I could hum it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Osanobwa.
Okay.
Chineke okwu, you
Yeah.
were there, you were there. Yeah, I love that song. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you want to talk about the album? You can talk about any song you want to talk about on the album.
About the album, yeah. It was launched on June 2017 this year through Believe Distribution
Okay.
worldwide.
Nice.
And the album titled Nigerian Spirit is reaching out to the world through the Nigerian perspective of culture, religion, politics, and people.
Nice.
So it's about what we represent as a nation, right? Including what I just spoke about, our
Yes.
culture,
Yeah.
our people, spirituality, politics, and how it's kind of also reflects in other countries as well.
Yeah.
But from the Nigerian perspective, which is not many years ago, I remember, I don't know if you've listened to Nigerian Spirit,
Yes,
the track.
I've listened to that song.
So which starts...
Boko Haram, they
Yeah,
know them.
yeah. It starts with this folk.
Yeah.
It's the Bogwenta,
Yeah.
Bogwenye.
Is that
This is
Bini?
Bini.
Bini, okay.
And it's actually...
Your language is Bini?
is Bini.
Okay.
Yes. It's actually harmonized spoken words folk. And it's used to be Bogwenta,
Yeah.
Bogwenye,
Okay.
Bogwenta Mulele
Yeah.
Otatufe. That's
Oh,
what
nice,
I harmonized.
nice. Yeah.
And during the time of Bogwenta,
Yeah.
it's not so many years ago, it was a beautiful time in Nigeria. It was peaceful. There wasn't noises of churches everywhere. There wasn't problem of Boko Haram.
Yeah.
There wasn't problem of robbery. There wasn't all that confusion.
Generators.
No noise of generator. We still had lights.
Nice.
People could go to school for free,
Yeah.
free education. The hospitals were good.
Yeah.
Beautiful environments. And it's not like I'm talking of 50 years ago.
I know.
And that time kind of like disappeared to something else, to conflict,
Yeah.
to religious conflict, to ethnic conflict, to bombing of people, to corruption has always been there,
Yeah.
but it's getting worse and worse.
It's like rooted in the fabric of the
Yes.
country now.
Yes. That if you want to make money, if you are not a pastor,
Yeah.
you have to become a politician.
Of course.
So that is another way of making money and making name. You get it. So all these things were kind of in place. They weren't perfect. They were in place.
Yes.
So I'm asking myself, what has happened? Why this confusion? And what can we do to stop this? As it happens in Nigeria, so it happens in many other countries.
Yes.
In Italy with their own issues, in
Yeah.
Somalia, like how many people still die in Somalia, and there is a silent.
Yeah.
There is a whole, a silent about that issue, this African dream that we have.
Yeah.
And we see our brothers and sisters, we're talking about the African dream.
Yeah.
We are Africans, we are this, we are blessed. We just talk, but we don't even support one another.
Yeah.
If we do not unite concretely, really, there is no way we can ever advance.
No, because other people are not going to do it for
No.
us. They have their own problems
Yes.
now too.
Yes. It's not as if it's best in other parts of the
No.
world.
Nope.
The Western countries, they still
They're struggling.
but yet
Yeah.
they still cater for their people.
True.
And they liaise with their people. They don't sell themselves off. They rather, connive to sell you off.
Yeah.
You get it? But we are so, we talk about independence, how do you call it? Colonization and all of that. Yeah, in some ways, these potentials, these leaders, the leaders of the world, they are still there. They are vampires that will never disappear. They will never disappear no matter what. But it is left for us as people how to be able to be smart, to negotiate in a way that it will also benefit us, benefit our people.
Yes.
That when we have the opportunity, the chance, such as Nigeria, that is being, considered like a role model for other countries, other African countries, look up to Nigeria.
Yeah.
If we are able to make Nigeria a better country, many other African countries will benefit.
Yes. Yeah.
You get it? Yet we have this conflict. We have this corrupt minds, people like the leaders who really don't care. They steal our money and keep it in foreign banks. And, when you hear money they steal, you're is this really? What is wrong with these people?
I know. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah. So the music reach out, through this perspective.
Yes.
And it's also speak about the situation, of it. It's like it pays tribute as well to those lost souls of our brothers and sisters who have lost their lives in quest of a better life in Europe.
Yes.
And those are brothers and sisters who died in the ocean.
Yes.
Deep in the ocean
because
of
that's
Lampedusa.
a big issue and nobody talks about
in
it.
Italy, how many boats arrives, in a week or every day, and how many of them dies, in the quest of getting to Europe for a better
life.
future. And their dream is there, buried deep in the ocean. No prayer, no candlelight.
Oh my gosh.
And no flower for them. So you also have a track that's kind of, remember.
What's the name of the
Lampedusa.
Okay.
Lampedusa.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I have a track as well, like Mother. Mother, it's is for me, my mother is very, very important in my life. She's played a very significant role. Growing up with her, I lost my dad. We lost my dad when we were babies. I was like a year, 4 months old.
Wow.
My brother was 4 months old. So we never had a dad, and she's played the role, both roles.
Yeah.
And she did all her best to make sure we had the best, in terms of education, in terms of our needs, right? And not only that, the impact that even if we are able to speak Benin language today and write, it's thanks to my mother. All the folks, she would be the one who would, share the folks with us. She would tell us stories, and her words of wisdom that always accompanies me, that wherever I am, I remember where I come from.
Yes.
Even before any action, I remember my mother. And even there are some times you're in this part of the world and you have your dark times.
Yeah.
That you feel homesick and you like, what am I doing here? And
my first 10 years in America.
Yeah.
Was like that. Sometimes I think back, I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
All alone.
Yes.
What am I doing here?
What am I looking for?
I'm just beginning to actually accept this place, and just be like, okay, I am home.
Yeah.
I am home. This is home now, and I still have Nigeria as a home. It's my home.
Yes.
It will always be my home, but
Yes.
I need to make myself at home.
Yes,
you know?
that's it.
Yeah.
And there, if your mother played a significant role to you,
Yes.
the person that will come to your mind
Yes, is
is
your
your
mother.
mother.
Yeah. Yes.
That person will be my mother. Like when things are getting rough, and she's just there. Even when you're home, and she's like, no, this is the way you have to go.
Yes.
And so when things are going rough for me, or I'm feeling homesick, that voice comes. It invades me. You get it? It's add up to my spirit.
Yeah.
To my,
Yeah.
and then I'm up again. I'm like, okay, yes, this is what I have to do. And I just move on.
That's
so that
good.
is a tribute
That's good. Yeah.
to mother,
Yeah.
to my mother. But
I listen
reaches
to
out.
all these things you're saying. It comes across on the album.
Yeah.
The right from the performance is awesome. The production is rich and live.
Yes.
I just like it, and I hope everybody will go and look for it. It's called Nigerian Spirit.
Nigerian Spirit. Yeah,
Very good.
is in like 35 musical platforms, from Deezer to iTunes. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And is in like 300 territories across the
awesome.
world. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Just,
I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yes.
From Nigeria, we travel out a lot.
Yeah.
But most of us go to English-speaking countries.
Yes.
My sister actually lives in Germany now. She speaks German.
Yeah.
But I always wonder about the language, because in Nigeria we speak English.
Yes.
How was it tough for you the first time you came to Italy, learning the language?
No, because I have this kind of gift
Okay.
that I love language.
Okay.
And I catch up easily.
Yeah.
That's
and you
one
caught
thing.
up to the point that you were playing roles in Italian
Yes,
theater.
of course. Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes. And I mean, I really, I like language, and I like Italy.
Okay.
And I like the way the language sounds.
Yes.
For me, I say it's very romantic.
Yeah.
That in fact, when I'm speaking, they're like, oh, Sonia, you sound really romantic in Italian language.
Yeah.
And again, I study theater arts,
I
so
see.
diction. So that
diction and
helps a
all those
lot
things. Nice,
as well.
nice.
And then I did lots of workshops, and I started doing a lot of public speaking, speaking about the issues relating to human trafficking and prostitution of Nigerian women in Italy.
Yeah.
So I have been engaged in,
how
fighting
bad is that issue?
It's worse. I don't even.
Let's
I am
reserve it
so
for another
disappointed.
time.
No, we can still talk about it, but I feel that all the effort sometimes is like in vain.
Yeah.
But in some part, it's not been in vain. But because we've been able to impact lives,
Yes.
of couple or 3,000 of women, but still. Saying today that we still have young women, even minors, coming to the country is like all the initiatives, the efforts over the 2 decades is almost like in vain.
Who is patronizing that?
Italian men, of course. Who? They are.
And my problem with that is that it kind of taints everybody. Like, if a woman comes, like a Nigerian woman now says, I come from Italy, for some people, the first thing they're going to think about
Stereotype.
is, they're going to stereotype. It's like...
Yeah. So it's a situation that we cannot stop, though it's expanded to Portugal, to Spain and France, but it all started in Italy. And
so there's
still
a
there.
market for it.
Of course there is. There is a market, and they're still doing it. And it's even getting worse. Now they are from Ishan. Before it was a lot of Beninese. Yeah, we have other countries.
Yeah.
We have other places as well, like the Yorubas, but they are fewer. Now it's no longer Beninese. They are now Ishan. They just go to pick those tiny girls, like 14, 15. When you see them, you just as you're doing, your heart is just hurting.
Yeah.
So after seeing that, because I don't have the time again like before, what I've been doing in these past years is to be engaging women in Benin City to be producing some. I have a social enterprise in Benin City, which I just created early this year, and the aim is to have these women produce some of my designs, because I wear my designs, which I sell during my shows and all of that, and people are asking more and more. So I have been working with these young women to produce them and jewelry and all of that. So that's what we're starting now, to kind of help the women on to live.
Yeah.
And I'm also beginning a talent hunts, working with them to produce some of them, because I have my label, right? To get them to do my kind of music, my concept of music, like the real Nigerian music, real African music, reconnecting us to our culture, to our tradition, to our ancestral, roots. So that's what I'm doing on my end now, because I don't have the time anymore to really be in Italy, and I just feel I have to go back home to do that. So that's what I do now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's end on a very fun note. Do you have any message for your Italian people speaking Italy?
Oh, you want me to speak in Italian?
Yeah,
certamente. Oh, buonasera a tutti quanti. Sono molto onorata di essere qui e parlare per tutti voi sulla mia musica, e spero che ci sia qualche italiano che mi sta ascoltando, e se siete a New York potete venire a sentirmi cantare stasera a Shrine Club, e 3 novembre suonerò a Gereso, che è un nuovo locale in città, e volevo fare un saluto a un carissimo amico produttore italiano, Andrea Tomasi, che è uno dei produttori più grandi assoluto in North America, che si trova qui. Questo è un abbraccio a tutti. Io sono di Torino, sono torinese, e buona serata a tutti quanti. Baci da Sonia Aimy.
I can't even follow that. It just sounds so good. Sonia Aimy, thank you very much.
It's my
Thank you for
pleasure.
coming to Doing Jazz.
Thank you.
I
for
hope
having
we
me.
can do this again. I really do.
Sure.
Thank you. Later.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Grazie mille.
He's go when